Diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. This quote beautifully captures the spirit of today's session, a powerful dialogue on inclusive leadership and the transformational role of mentoring. For
For
this
this
meaningful
meaningful
and
and
thought-provoking
thought-provoking
evening.
evening. Respected dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, and dear fellow student managers, it gives us immense pleasure to welcome a visionary leader whose work bridges technology, customer success, and global leaderships. We extend our heartful welcome to Mr. Indranil Karal, sir, Head of GCC and Customer Success at Pratiti Technologies. With an illustrious career marked by innovations, strategic insights, and inclusive growth, Mr. Karals stand as a powerful example of how leadership can shape not just team but cultures. Today, he joins us to speak on a topic that resonates deeply with our university values and today's corporate realities: diversity and inclusion in mentoring, a leadership imperative that fosters belonging, innovation, and equity.
Sir, we are truly honored to have you with us this evening. On behalf of our Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Directors, faculty members, and staff, may I now request Senior Student Manager Raman Kabra and Trisha Roy to kindly present a bouquet to Mr. Indranil Karal, sir, as a token of our warmest welcome and appreciation.
Thank you, Raman and Trisha. To our distinguished guest and audience, allow us to share a brief overview of the esteemed institution that is hosting today's event, Sri Balaji University, Pune. Our university comprises four premier management institutes: Balaji Institute of Modern Management, BIMM; Balaji Institute of International Business, BIIB; Balaji Institute of Technology Management, BITM; and Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, BMHRD. In addition, the university encompasses diverse schools of excellence, including School of Commerce and Management, School of Computer Science, School of Humanities and Social Science, School of Liberal Arts, School of Defense and Strategic Studies, School of Actual Science, Balaji School of Law, Balaji School of Media, Communication and Journalism, Balaji School of Sports Science, Balaji Schools of Online and Digital Learning, and MA programs in Chinese Studies and National Securities. Our extended academic committee also includes Balaji Law College, Balaji College of Arts, Commerce and Science, and Balaji Junior College, strengthening our commitment to holistic and interdisciplinary education.
According to the Time B School Ranking Survey 2025, Sri Balaji University proudly holds 10th rank among the top 100 B school in India, second among the top 36 private universities, fourth among the top 20 B school in Western India, 12th among the top 50 institutes for placements. With over 300 plus corporate recruiters engaging with us every year, our industry interface is a powerful testament to the quality and relevance of our education.
The legacy of our university is deeply rooted in the principle of discipline, dedication, and determination, as envisioned by our beloved founder, Chancellor, the late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramaniam sir. Here at Sri Balaji University, learning goes far beyond textbook. Through immersive experience such as corporate lectures, live project, and leadership talks like the one we are about to witness, we are groomed to become industry-ready professionals with strong ethical foundation.
As we look ahead of today's insightful session, we are reminded of the words of Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo. Just because you are a minority doesn't mean you can't be a leader. It is through inclusive mentoring that such leaders are discovered, empowered, and celebrated.
And now, to formally introduce our distinguished speaker, may I invite student manager Vishal Ingavle to take the stage and share more about Mr. Indranil Karal, sir, with the audience.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I, student manager Vishal Ingavle, specializing in finance from Balaji Institute of International Business. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce a distinguished professional who truly exemplifies leadership, transformation, and strategic foresight, Mr. Indranil Karal, sir. Mr. Karal sir is currently the head of GCC and customer success at Pratiti Technologies, bringing with him over 21 of rich and diverse experience in global sales, operations, business development and customer experience within the IT and ITES sectors. A growth catalyst by every definition, he has played a pivotal role in crafting, scaling greenfield businesses, lending digital transformation journeys, and managing high-value strategic partnerships, particularly with global capability centers and shared service ecosystem. From being the part of the core team that built Tech Mahindra's greenfield BPS into $300 million plus businesses to driving large deal conversion and building profit and loss focused client portfolio at Ultimatric, RISS, and Tech Mahindra. His journey reflects a deep commitment to excellence, innovation, and impact. Known for his expertise in customer success, profit and loss management, transformation in outsourcing, and strategic ecosystem co-creation, Mr. Karal sir brings not only an exceptional professional pedigree but also a deep understanding of global business landscapes and cross-functional team leadership. He has held a leadership role across India and the United States, from heading operation in Pune to leading strategic sales in the San Francisco Bay Area, working closely with CXOs, managing multi-billion dollar portfolios, and creating lasting value for clients and organizations alike. Please join me in welcoming a thoughtful leader, strategist, and mentor, Mr. Indranil Karal, sir, to share his insight with us today. Sir, we truly are honored to have you with, sir. Sir, stage is all yours. Thank you.
So how are we all doing today? I'm so sorry, apologies, I came in late, but you have to attribute to that to my profession that I have, all that he's just said, okay? But I liked what these two, the lady and the gentleman over there talked about, provocative talks. Or what did you say? Thought-provoking, right? Of course. So we are going to have some thought-provoking session, and I really, really don't wish to take you guys through PPTs, which all of you are going to, master that art for your future, right? So firstly, congratulations to all of you for being over here, because nowadays, rightfully so, we end up celebrating a lot of startup entrepreneurs who are college dropouts. But I have always felt nothing bad with them. But I have always, seen the value of formal education in how it shapes up your career. So, do we all agree, and can we move ahead for these thought-provoking session, probably for the next couple of minutes? Okay. Very nice. Okay. So, just to give you a background, I don't know, he was reading out my CV and all. Of course, I've been working for the last 22 years across multiple cities in India, multiple countries, that's where my work, took me. But if I look back, in fact, I love this kind of opportunities because it takes me back to my own college days. I did my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad, and, I was somewhere there sitting through all, similar kind of lectures in during my student days. And I understand the way you guys look forward for such sessions to understand how the industry is shaping up, what are the demographics, what do we need to do, because this is the time we are all very curious in our lives, right? And when I say curious, it's because how do we, what do we do after we get out of the college gate? How am I employed? What am I doing? Am I being an entrepreneur? All these questions would be crossing your minds, right? Anything else that I have probably missed out? I want this session to be interactive, guys, please. If you have anything, of course, we have an interactive session later. But during course of this, session, if you really wish me to talk on something else, I'll be more than happy to do that as well. No? Okay. So let's continue. So yeah, a couple of years back, probably 2001, 2002, I was also in a college in a similar auditorium. I have been through similar kind of sessions, and those actually, helped me shape up my career because, there are small snippets that comes in your dreams. Probably once you look uh, back yourself after 10 years from now, you will remember these moments. And there are, some deep learnings of life that comes when you interact with people, when you communicate with people, and when you get the chance to actually, discuss not only business, but talk on any subject, any topic. So these are the, things where you should pick it up from, right? So going back to my college days, actually, it was pretty funny because I'm born and brought up in Calcutta, but I ended up in a college in Ghaziabad, which was a completely cultural disaster for me at that point of time, right? But that's where we forged the best of our networks, the best of our relationships, the best of our friendship, which we call today professional networking, right? So these, the alumni that I have or I'm still connected with, they still help me, not only in finding jobs, okay, but in terms of getting connected with other businesses, getting connected with other leaders, understanding their thought process, understanding how effectively we do that business architecture. And nowadays, one thing which is very common in corporates, which is called a corporate athlete, right? So we have all heard about athletes in sports, but in corporate also there are athletes, right? So these are the people who would, and I'm sure most of you would end up in corporate jobs, and you would all be successful corporate athletes. And to become one, of course, as I rightly said, the formal education means a lot because that's where you polish your skills, you learn new things, you learn how to communicate effectively, but at the same time, you also need to understand the customer psyche, and that's what we are going to talk about today. And when I say customer psyche, when you sell businesses or you grow businesses for your customers, there are situations where you have to place yourself into your customer boot. When we talk about business, we talk about finances, we talk about revenue, fixed price, time and material, but those are immaterialistic, basically. You have to understand what is the business outcome a customer is looking for. And that's the crux of any business. Once you can relate yourself from your customer's viewpoint, that's where you crack that business. And that's all I do, right? My son, who's a 10-year-old kid, he asks me at times what I do. I tell him I'm a salesman, and that's what I am. All of us are salesmen. Even if you, after your graduation from here, after your MBA, somebody of you would join HR, some of you would be in finance, some of you would be in delivery. The less fortunate ones would be in sales like me, right? But even if you're in delivery, even if you're in HR, even if you are into business finance, end of the day, it's all revenue that matters for the organization. And the faster you tie yourself or your thoughts up with your organization thoughts, and when I say organization, of course, organization is the place where you would work, or probably an organization that you create. So absolutely, both types, right? So the faster you tie up your thoughts with the business outcome, that's what is called a vision. And when we talk about a business vision, of course, the bookish, experience or the knowledge that we would pick up from here definitely matters. But I think more than that, your attitude and your cravings for being ambitious, to be successful is something which acts as a differentiator. There would be many subjects, topics that you would touch over the next couple of months, years during your MBA days, college days, right? But something that, that comes naturally from within all of us is our hunger for success. And when I say hunger for success, it's not that a dream that I need to be successful, I need to earn more money, I need to have a big car, I need to have a big house. It's not only that. It is how do you reach to that big car? Do you have a game plan for that? So that is what I say is your attitude in terms of giving a shape to your dreams. Attitude can be of, attitude is not arrogance, okay? Just don't get me wrong in terms of, I don't mean to say a very arrogant person carries an attitude, no. Attitude is about that go-getting attitude in terms of if you want to do something, if you crave to do something, you have the conviction that you would be successful in doing it. The journey to make that conviction a reality is the attitude, right? I'll quote a very small incident from my life, okay? So I told you, right? I grew up in Calcutta. I did my studies in Calcutta, moved to, North India, Ghaziabad for my MBA. After my MBA, I joined an organization called GE Capital, which is known as Genpact now. So it used to be GE Electrics, that point of time, then GE Money, then GE Capital. Somehow I got hired over there, okay? After 3 months, I had an opportunity to go for a business migration to the US. And guess what? I did not even have a passport. And it was not an open-ended role that, somebody could have waited for me for 3 months. And probably passport used to take 3 months, if I'm not wrong, probably 20, 25 years, 22 years from now, before. But I did not lose hope, okay? Because that's what I have always aspired for. That's what I have always worked for. That's what I was always dreaming about. But I did not have a passport. So I went back to my then boss. I don't want to quote his name, but he, I'm still in touch with him. So he said, it's your problem, it's not my problem. I have given you the opportunity, you did well. I gave you the opportunity, that's what you desired for. And if you don't have a passport, I'm sorry, my friend, you figure out your ways. It was a Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, the passport office was blocked, it was closed. Monday morning I go, and at that point of time, we did not used to earn much also. So I applied for a normal Tatkal passport by paying something extra. And that man, when he was stamping my papers, he told me, oh, you get it, your passport would be there with you in the next 3 weeks. And that was the fast-track process, not like today, right? You would not believe, the passport office that time in Delhi was near a place called Horse Khas. And it was an old government kind of office, not the swanky offices that you see nowadays, not in our times, right? It was not that swanky office. And the gentleman who was supposed to stamp that date on my application was sitting on a table, right? And it used to be that, the old tables like this one, which is hollow from between. So I had no clue. I was I was about to cry. I was, of course, men also cries, right? I was about to cry because I want that passport in the next probably 7 days to apply for my visa. So I could not think of anything else, and I just reached out to his feet. I grabbed his feet. And he was like, trying to push me, shove me off from there because it was such an embarrassing moment for him. But he realized that I needed my passport desperately. And you know what he did? He looked into my eyes. He said, what do you want? I said, I need my passport tomorrow. He said, I can't give it to you tomorrow. It's not possible. But I'll give it to you in 3 days. I got my passport. And in 3 months, when I started my career, I flew off to the US. But when I look back at that situation, would I do that today? Probably no. Why did I do that time? Because that's what I was dreaming for. I was hungry for that, for that opportunity. So there was nothing called a no for me. And I did that and got my passport. And, of course, after that, I spent a couple of years in the US. Then I came back and left GE. All that's history. But yes, I always quote this story to show that if you're if you're aspiring for something, you have to cross certain mental boundaries. You have to win over yourself, your own fears, and you have to get your things done. So these are some of life lessons that we are going to talk. Many more, of course. But I wanted to start with this, to imbibe the need to think big and go all out for whatever you aspire for, right? Whatever. So probably my dreams have changed over the last 15, 20 years. But of course, in the same direction, probably something more. And I'm still hungry, but for other dreams, right? So that's the point I wanted to make. Coming back to the college days, of course, this is the time where you get the opportunity to hone your skills, not only for creating PPTs or be a master in Excel or, getting into the coding side of things, whatever. I would say the best, औजार बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, the best tool that you have from being successful perspective is communication. It is how you communicate with your team right now, with your peers. When you join somewhere or you start up something, it is how effectively you communicate, how effectively you drive your ideas. A business leader is not only, of course, we started off with discussing the importance of numbers, revenue, but it is equally important for a business leader to ensure that his ideas, his vision gets articulated. And when I say articulation, it is all about communication, effective communication, strong communication. And that takes you then to the next stage of your career where you actually face customers. And that's, being the real corporate athlete when you manage customers, right? Businesses of millions of dollars does not happen on air and water. And businesses not always happens by discussing business. So if we are building, per se, a platform for one of our customers, it's not the solution architecture that I talk. Probably my team does. I understand that. But when we connect, we discuss about a lot of other things. We discuss, we have to bring out that inquisitiveness in ourselves. You have to ask questions. When I say asking questions, it's not about asking where did my customer buy his jacket from? No. Asking what are his business alignments? What are the business goals? What are the targets that the customer organization is carrying? And another way of doing effective communication is to do a lot of reading, which I do still now. And when I say reading, it's not novels that I read, a lot of current affairs. And I have found that really, really effective in my career because that gives you the flair to talk on any subject, any topic, be it sports, be it golf, be it cricket, be it, geopolitics. As late as the tariff war, you need to talk about everything with them. And that's how you win the confidence of the customer. If you, one-on-one, when we are talking with each other, you would always end up connecting with people whom you find knowledgeable, from whom you can pick up a few points to enhance your own knowledge, right? So that's what I call effective communication. And as I say, platform, to build a platform, probably the technologies behind, underneath is different. That ways, the knowledge that you pick up in terms of being very, very knowledgeable from a generic perspective, general discussion perspective is what that helps. Of course, the business knowledge also, but that's, when you do the double click into all those business problem areas, right? Okay, so yeah, so communication is one, your attitude is one. The third thing, of course, when you apply for something, of course, your marks, everything matters. So Please don't get diverted that I'll only, be a champion in communication and I don't bother how my, how much I score in finance or in other subjects. Please don't do that because those are all important. Because when you start up, at the starting line, everybody would be in the starting position, right? The starting position for everyone is same. But, once you start running, then everybody is in a different orbit. Everybody is running at a different speed. And it is for all of you to understand what speed you want to, or what velocity you want to run. And I use this word velocity because it's a very important word in our world, in IT, because for all the Scrum teams, all the development works that we do. By the way, a very interesting anecdote from my career. I'm an MBA in finance, but I have always ended up working in IT companies. I don't know a thing of coding, okay? I'm started to learn right now, but I'm late, I guess, with the low-code, no-code platforms coming in. But I have always ended up working in IT companies. I've managed large deliveries from an IT perspective. And that's where, during interaction with one of my previous bosses with TechM, that gentleman is already retired, Mr. Sujit Bakshi. He used to be the president of TechM. He told me, there is a, you can segregate knowledge into two parts, need to know and good to know. So whenever in your, career, wherever you will always be overwhelmed with information, you would be overwhelmed with data, right? It is very important how we pick up what is important for me, what is important for the business, what is good to know, and what is need to know. And that's how you figure out what to talk or what data to share at what point of time and with whom. Is it making sense? Anything? Or you want me to, dwell into more bookish things? I can do both, by the way. Is it making sense or how's it? Okay. Okay. Now, coming back again, as I said, coming to a college always makes me feel very nostalgic in terms of, I go back a couple of years because college is something that, holds a special value in all of our lives, all of our memories, everything. You don't know the person who's sitting next to you would be, where that person would be after 3 years, right? So it is very, very important. And if you look at us, whenever there's a new opportunity, we open up our LinkedIn accounts, we check out that person, whether that person is connected with my alumni or has ever worked with any of my other colleagues, any connections. And that's what today's business is all about. It's about networking. It is about effective networking. We play golf. Do you know why? Because it's one of the game where, most of the business leaders are in that golf course, and that's the best place to network. And it's not a very stressful game either. So that ways. So these are the habits, these are the things that you need to imbibe in yourself. These are the years where you need to polish the way you dress, the way you look. It's not about wearing expensive clothes, and I'm sure everybody has talked about it before. It's about how you dress up, how you carry yourself. And of course, when you are in discussion with your customers or you are in the next phase of your career where you are doing other things in terms of building businesses, there has to be, how do I say this? When you are building businesses, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, right? It's about understanding personalities. It's about understanding who can do what. So fixing that puzzle from a resourcing perspective, and I call resourcing a jigsaw puzzle because you have to put the best man for the best jobs. And while I say this, I remember it is also a very important phase of your career where over the next couple of months, years, you need to figure out what is the right stream for you, whether you want to be in HR. Why? Because you have to understand what kind of skills or what kind of a personality you yourself you carry, right? It is very easy to improve on your communication. It's very easy to look good, dress up in a better way. But it's very difficult to change your personality. And when I say personality, uh, every job role requires a different personality. So if I would have been in HR, it would have been a mess for my organizations where I have worked for. Because I don't see myself as an HR person, right? I'm a very aggressive person by nature. So by God's grace, at your, of course, I landed up in sales and business delivery. And when I say sales, it's more of business development in terms of uh, when we say business development, it's about uh, ensuring profitable optimization, or profit optimization for your customer organization. That's what I do. But if I had been in, though I've done my MBA in finance, but I did not ever work in finance. My first job was into delivery, and then I was into business transitions, and then I moved to sales gradually over in my career. But I've never worked in finance, though my major was finance. I still know how finance works because, I still check those Excels, right? But I don't do those financial modelings anymore. Because over the years, during my college and after my college, I've realized I was not too much suited for a desk-based job, right? Given my personality. The same way, each one of you should also be assessing, and this is the right time for you to figure out, and of course, you don't need to be 100% correct at this stage. There are a lot of trial and error that happens, right? But it is very important for all of you to figure out what you want to do, or which stream you want to join, and what would be your, what is the value that you create by going into a HR or a finance. So when I have seen a lot of students who want to be in HR. I don't know why. And it's rightfully so. It's correct. It's a good thing. But you have to ask yourself, if you say that I'm good in finance, you have to ask what is the value that I'm going to create for my organization. If you don't have that value proposition, or if you cannot think of that value proposition, then that stream is actually not for you. You should try for something else. And don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, for everybody, they have their own special strengths and special, places where there are certain drawbacks, right? Not everybody is good in everything. And that's the jigsaw thing of our life that we all need to sort at this stage of our career. Now, since Dr. Kalyani has asked me to talk, motivational talk. So, of course, in your career, career, people say there are ups and downs in your career, right? But when you actually, swim through your career, you will see the downs are higher in number. Ups, the days where you feel very good or you feel very motivated are less, right? But that's how it is designed, I guess. Because I have read somewhere, if you look into, there used to be a very famous basketball player, right? Michael Johnson. And there's a very famous quote that he has said. Michael Johnson scored over 400 NBA points in the National Basketball Championship, right? But he said that he tried more than 4,000 times, and 3,500 times he failed. So the percent of failure was much higher in his career, but he's still successful. And that holds true not only for Michael Johnson. It holds true for each and every one of us over here in this auditorium, right? So there would be days where things would go right, and there would be many, many days where things would not fall in place. But that's how it is, and that's, how you deal with it defines your career, Okay, so we spoke about communication, we spoke about attitude, we spoke about the need of formal education, or as I say, the management tools that we need to all learn during this phase of our college days. The last thing that I would like to discuss with all of you is the need for choosing a right mentor. And this is one thing where at least I have failed for many, many years, my initial years in my career. Not that I had bad bosses or I had bad people around me. No. But choosing a mentor, whatever stage of your career you are at, it is very important because whatever you do, whatever actions you devise as a plan, it is very important for all of us to bounce those ideas off from some other, uh, good gray matter, right? And that's what I call a mentorship. A mentorship should start from your initial college days. It can be a mentor can be your teacher. It can be a professor. A mentor can be your senior in college. Mentor can be anybody, right? But do find a mentor who would understand what you want to achieve and always bounce off your thoughts. Never do things, just out of the blue moon, right? तुक्के लगता है एक time, but not all the time, right? So, of course, bouncing off ideas, because that's what gives a shape, or that's what your thoughts. We all have thoughts, right? We all have dreams. I also have dreams for the next 10 years of my career. But are they in a, in a form or a shape where it is very fine-tuned? Probably not. What am I doing about it? Of course, I do get connected with my mentors. I have my own mentors, and I bounce those off. And trust me, a lot of time I feel very bad about myself that I've chosen this person as my mentor because he just shoots off few of my ideas. But that's how it should be. When you look back, there are many decisions that we have already taken in our lives or we take on a day-to-day basis which might not work. And I would go out and stick my neck. Probably only 30 to 40% of our decisions are correct. Or things that we do at that point of time just out of the thin air, only 35-40% are correct. 60% most of the time you will see has not worked out. That's because those are not fine-tuned. A decision can never be correct or wrong. A decision is taken. It's on us how we, shape that decision to make it successful or a failure, right? So these are very important things that, of course, I have also learned in my college, and definitely I have learned or picked up from my mentors or the people that I have worked with, the best of the minds. And I always, value these things as a treasure because these things are not taught in a book. It does not come binded in a textbook. It is life experiences that you pick up, and I think it has helped me a lot. And best leaders you would always see, they're thinkers. So if you're thinking, suddenly sitting in a college, somebody comes and push, hey man, where are you lost? So that's a good thing if you actually have that kind of a thing where you are overwhelmed with your thoughts, you are thinking. It can be anything. It can be ridiculous things, including probably owning a private jet. Yes, think about it. There is no harm in thinking, but do bounce them off, get the right path to reach your goals. And I guess, these are, I would not call these recipes of success, but definitely these would be the indicators of your success going forward. I think I can keep on talking, but you want to have a question? Yes, please, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words and impactful insights. Your session has not only enriched our understanding of mentoring and inclusion, but also inspired us to lead with empathy, equity, and courage. We'll now take a few questions from the audience.
Yes, please,
Hi,
ma'am.
sir. My name is Neha from BIMM.
Hi, Neha.
My question for you is, you spoke about failures. Many people, like, we often go through failures, but we listen that you should deal with failures and, like, it's the first step to success. But how do you actually, when you actually fail, you know that you are demotivated, you wallow in self-pity. So how do you deal with it when you are actually going through it?
Okay. I'll give you a very recent example. 5 minute, not 5 minute, probably an hour back. I was sitting with a customer. It's a very large GCC, okay? So by the way, I forgot telling you guys. I'll come back and I'll answer, okay? Please have a seat, I'll answer that.
Thank you,
But
sir.
I need to have a pretext to before I answer. So I mostly generate business out from GCCs. Do you know what is GCC? Anybody of you? It's the Global Capability Center. And you know how GCCs came in India? We all started working in ITs in the early, 2000. I started working in 2003, right? In IT, right? At that point of time, we used to have ODCs, Operational Delivery Centers. So those were the places where we used to uh, offshore or migrate our customer businesses and deliver out from India. Why? Because India used to be a low cost option. So there was no value added in that business, that point of time. But if you look into the journey of IT over the last 20 years, the value that India has added, it's not only from a talent pool perspective, but how those talent pool has been groomed across multiple different verticals, be it manufacturing, engineering, BFSI, fintechs, everywhere. So coming back to your question, I was sitting at a GCC, a very large GCC, and let me quote the name. I was sitting at Siemens. At Siemens, we do, in part of my company, we do almost $15 million of business. So today's day was a failed day for me. I lost a small business, but I lost. I was sitting with the customer, and that's where I got late. So failure cannot be, one failure is not, it is an incident. It is not it's not where your life is stopping. Like for instance, you wake up, you do things. There are instances that you go through in your day-to-day life. So don't get bogged down. And I know it's very easy to say, but it is also very obnoxious for you to think in a way that if I face a failure, I'm doomed. No, you are not doomed. Failure is an instance, is a particular instance in your life. There is life beyond it. And one failure cannot define a person. And if one failure defines any one of you, then I'm sorry, my friend, you need to do some serious consideration in terms of how you, think, how you operate. There are failures. The reason I said this, because there are failures every day. Out of 5 days, 6 days that you work in a week, probably one day you will feel, oh man, this is what you work for. And trust me, that one day does not even come in once a week, probably once a month, right? Other days, it's continuous pressure. Most of the time you will find yourself in a situation where you are supposed to do 3 things, but you have ended up only doing 2. That does not, your boss would come, people would scream, you will probably have a bad appraisal. One bad year. No. So out of 22 years, probably I would have had bad appraisals 11 years. And I'm being honest, and that's life. But the other 11 years that I had good appraisal gave me the oxygen for all the 22 years. So success would come, is rare, but ensure you sustain that success to overcome all your failures, if I may answer it that way.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Myself, Om Sandhan.
I did not get your name?
Myself, Om.
Om, okay.
Yeah. So my question is that everyone is always creeping about the sales. Like sales job is this, that. Every day I see memes that do not ever enter the sales and sales, this, that. But sir, I just completed my internship in door-to-door sales. And to be honest, I have worked into retail sales also. Actually, my door-to-door sales manager wasn't that good, I'll look up to, but still, I had a very good experience with the sales. The company was Times of India. So my question is, why always the creeping about the sales? Like,
I'll tell you. Okay. When I was not married, I just met my wife, whom I was not married with. She asked me, what do I do? I said, I'm a salesman. She said, oh, no, it's not working out for me, okay? So I know where you're coming from. And probably nowadays we call sales in a better way, customer success, business development, all these things. But what is sales? Have we ever tried to figure out? Like all other business function, we find sales would be somewhere, picking up a bag every morning, going out in the sun, walking for 5 kilometers every day, coming back all sweat, right? So no, that's not sales. What I consider as sales is consultative selling. And what do you mean by consultative selling? Consultative selling is, and I did briefly touch on this topic before during this discussion, it is about when you align yourself with the customer goals. So there are 2-3 types of sales, right? The sales that you're currently experiencing or doing is probably B2C, business to the customer. B2B sales is completely different. But to be successful in B2B, it is very important you have a few months or a few days of B2C experience, because that lays the foundation stone, because that would temper you for the stress that is coming your way. Trust me, my friend, okay? But coming back to B2B sales, these are enterprise sales. You are selling to a business, and a business only buys where there is a problem statement. If I am an enterprise owner, I would love to transfer my problems to others, right? And that is what sales is. So don't ever say that you are a salesman. Always say that you are a consultative salesman. And that would solve half of your life's problem. At least that's what solved my problem. But trust me, my friend, sales give, taking this stress, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you volunteer for it, or if you want to actually, come into sales and marketing as a profession, I think the kick that you get from a day-to-day life, because it's not for somebody who wants to sit in a cool chamber in a corner office. Of course, you will also have a corner office, but you are always on the move, right? You are always on the move. You're always on a flight, or you are always traveling, meeting up with your customers, understanding their business problem, going back to your organization, creating that solution for your customer, which solves your customer problems. That is sales. And once you relate yourself to that kind of consultation, bang on, you are a salesman then, like me. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I just don't answer question on sales. I can answer questions on finance or HR as well, if you have any. Okay, so you want to?
Thank you so much, sir. And now, may I invite Senior Student Manager Namdev Mane and Trisha Roy to present a memento to Mr. Indranil Karal as a token of sincere appreciation and gratitude.
To conclude this memorable evening, may I now request Student Manager Kushi Goda to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Student Manager Khushi Uday Goda from Balaji Institute of International Business, specializing in finance. On behalf of Balaji Institute of International Business, Shri Balaji University, Pune, I take this opportunity to extend gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr. Indranil Karal, sir, for gracing us with his presence and sharing his invaluable insights today. Sir, your talk was not only inspiring, but also deeply thought-provoking. Your rich experience in global capability centers, customer success, business transformation, and strategic leadership has truly given our audience a fresh perspective on the evolving dynamics of the IT and business service industry. The real world examples you shared, the strategic nuances, and the clarity with which you articulated complex themes have surely enriched all of us, students, faculty, and professional alike. From today's session, we got to learn about few life lessons, such as grabbing every opportunity around you, shaping your attitude, the importance of effective communication, and also, we should be well informed about the current affairs by reading from various sources, and much more. Your journey is a testament to what consistent vision, adaptability, and commitment to excellence can achieve. We are incredibly thankful for your time and for engaging with us so generously despite your busy schedule. I would also like to thank our respected management, faculty members, and the organizing team for making today's event possible. And of course, a sincere thank you to our enthusiastic audience and for being such attentive participants. Once again, thank you, Mr. Karal sir, for your inspiring words and presence. We look forward to many more such enriching interactions in the future. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Okay, there's a request that can we just everybody stand up because he wants a picture with all of us.
हो सरांसोबत फोटो गेले ना सर.